Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is incredible, or whenever you happen to be watching. You guys know I really do truly love you. You know, it's not easy doing what I do, and that's what this video is going to be about. Of course, Aries and Ivies look good today. There's a little bit of cleanup that I have to do, but the fact is that there is rarely a day that I'm not walking in that something major isn't going on. You know, where there's like, oh, guess what? We have to fix this, or hey, the alligator tank is leaking, which thankfully it's not. But you know, the truth is that there's always a project. There's always a door that needs to be fixed. There's always a cage that got broke somehow, or a light that's out, or a heating pad or a thermostat. You know, it's kind of part of doing what we do. You know what I mean? You have to really truly love it and be passionate about it, because it can break you. And I'm not going to lie to you, there are days, which by the way, this is kind of interesting. See the black-headed pythons here and how they're wrapped right now? That is like pre-courting right now. Now, of course, Snap and Pop are a pair and they've never bred before, so this could be the first year. That's pretty cool. But again, it's like I said, you never know when you come in the door what is going to happen here at the Reptarium and over at BHB. You've got to be uber passionate about it, because trust me, doing it every day, 7 days a week, can definitely mentally break you. There is no doubt about that. I mean, listen, Christmas was just the other day. Guess what? Everyone was off, right? I was in here working with the animals. I want to give you a little update on the green tree pythons, the Beox, of course. This is Pickles, the one back here, and then this guy we actually are calling Gherkin, actually. I know, it's kind of silly, right? But at first, they were kind of not too happy with one another, kind of cruising all over the place. Now they're actually together, which is exactly what you want. You can see that their tails aren't wrapped, but there's definitely a good sign here that they actually are chilling out together. Look absolutely incredible. And like I said, typically what you'll end up finding when they actually breed is typically their tails will be hanging down a little bit, but then intertwined and curled together. So with any luck, again, this is when they typically will breed. So hopefully in the next, maybe week or two, we'll see the first hookups, and then who knows, we could get an ovulation here in the next, month and a half, 2 months, 3 months at the most, and maybe get some baby green tree pythons. I mean, that would be absolutely amazing. And there's really two different types of issues that come up, right? There's the daily issue, which happens every day, which means that we have to clean waters, we have to clean glass, we have to feed the lizard eaters, we've got to feed veggies. Of course, we have to feed snakes when they need to feed. Those are just daily things that you expect every single day, no matter what, right? And that's all right. Although it can get draining when you do it day after day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This year, 366 days. But the fact is that you'd be surprised at how often there's a major issue that happens. Something that's like, oh no, there's a door that's broken, or there's a light that's out that is really hard to fix. Or even right now, let's take, for instance, Drogo cage. Came in this morning and some ropes were down. And what we noticed when we look back on surveillance is that, he's kind of, as he's pulling, some of the ropes are starting to fall out. We have some that are secured really well, but see how this one's even tied? It's actually loosening up. And even the humidity in here was a major thing. We have a humidifier up here now that is piped into the water line, but this is like our third or fourth rendition. We finally have it dialed in completely in here as far as humidity, temperature, everything. But now we're having problems with the ropes, with the humidity. They're just loosening up a little bit with the carabiners here. So we have to make a new solution. We'll probably spend an hour in here today somehow securing these ropes, because the last thing we want to have is Drogo actually be climbing and fall, right? So when these ropes come down, it can be a major problem. So again, every day there seems to be a new project, and that's part of it. And I'm not complaining, guys. I am not complaining at all. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's not easy. Because if you think it's easy, and maybe sometimes you think my life is easy, trust me, it is very difficult. Something as simple as a light going out on this wall, or really any of the walls, can be a lot harder than you think. Because we didn't have unlimited space, we had to kind of do things the best we could. And let's say Elvis's light is out. This is what I have to do. First, I have to take the screw out of the wall to kind of release this here, and there's a little hidden aisleway back here, right? And so what I have to do is I have to pull this aside here, come in here, squeeze through here like this. There's hardly any room. And then I have to squeeze, hang on a second. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay. And then I have to squeeze around this side here. And there's an aisleway back here all the way down the cages, as you can see. And I have to get underneath here, right underneath here, in order to change the bulb. So even something like changing a bulb can be a pretty major project. So, and trust me, we go through a lot of bulbs. Yep, that's a lot of water bottles right there. But you know what? This is for all of our misting systems here. And these are obviously ionized water here so that we don't have any chemicals in it. But you have to switch them out every single day. Again, just lots of little chores that people actually don't think about when they get into things, right? And something as simple as, you know, switching the water out every single day is something that happens. There's no real other good solution. I mean, you certainly could, you know, have an ionized water thing that goes directly into your pipes and all that type of stuff, but that's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie about that. So basically, every day when this runs out, we have to put a new bottle in here. And then of course, if it had run down like it did yesterday, we have to then manually turn it on so that we can prime the pump, right? Because what happens if this pump ran dry, then now there's air in all the lines, right? And we have to now get water in all the lines, so we have to manually do that, then turn it back onto auto. It runs 4 times a day. So just little things like that, you know, like I said, a lot of daily chores. Haven't showed these guys in a long time. These are actually bamboo rat snakes, really cool. They're called Porphyracea, and there's a bunch of different species of them, but they're all these bamboo racers that are just really beautiful animals. I mean, just unbelievable, high production animals. These guys need to be kept pretty humid, and they're pretty high production with having, you know, 3, 4, 5 clutches per year. Only typically 3 to 5 eggs per clutch, but nevertheless, hopefully here in a year or so, we'll get a couple of these guys up to size and start breeding them, because they are absolutely wonderful, aren't they? And trust me, I am not complaining, because I do live one of the most blessed lives ever. What I'm just trying to say is it's not easy, and even when you love things as much as I do, which I do, I mean, getting to spend time with animals like Taz, the blue tegu, or any animal in here, I mean, it is literally living my dream. I'm not just saying that, guys. I mean, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. But that doesn't mean that when you do it every day, all day, morning to night, constant grind, that it doesn't sometimes get overwhelming, you know? And you get like, oh my gosh, I need a break. I need a mental break. You guys know that, you know, this year has been a rough year mentally. And although I'm getting so much better, there are times where I'm mentally wore out, you know? And that's just because the grind is unbelievable. And it's something that you guys should think about if you're getting into your own business or turning your business into a hobby, whatever the case is, the fact that you are going to grind harder than you ever have grinded in your life. And to be successful, you have to grind harder than you ever thought you could, because that's the only true way to make your dreams a reality. Take, for instance, the vlog. You know, we have been doing this for 1,550 days. Think about that, really. Have you done anything 1,550 days in a row? I mean, besides maybe go to the bathroom, but I bet you haven't even brushed your teeth 1,550 days in a row. So it's crazy, right? And I love it. It's one of my favorite things I do. I mean, sharing my life with you guys and experiencing it with you and interacting with you is like the biggest blessing and life-changing things I've ever done. But it's still 1,550 plus days in a row. And there are times where you go like, I don't know if I could do it another day, I need a day off. And then there are times where you're excited. When things are going really well, it's like you are so excited. But when things start to fall off a little bit, it becomes a grind, you know? And it's okay, because you have to get through that grind. And I love it. And I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. Although you guys know, at the first of the year, I always say that I have a year review, and then I decide, do I want to keep going daily? So on January 2nd, I'm going to let you guys know if we're going to have vlogs every day next year. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do that. But nevertheless, it's not easy, guys. I love it, but it's a lot of work. Couldn't be more excited this year. We're finally going to be trying to breed the Lychee geckos. You know, we have a pretty good group of them. I think we have, I don't know, maybe 18 animals or something like that. Not all of them are up to size to breed, but of course this guy here, which is Reptar or Bosie Island, is big enough to breed, and he's going in with a female this year. Of course, Big Bertha, our oldest, which is just a G, GT animal is going to be bred this year. So, oh my goodness, if we hatch little baby Lychees this year, I'm going to freak out because they are so cool, and it's been a dream animal my whole life. So now, not only to own a bunch of them, but to potentially produce them this year will be crazy. Loki, the scaleless corn snake, has been over here at the Reptarium for the last couple weeks, and finally it's going to be starting to get taken out and people can hold it, because we always want them to kind of adjust, get at least a meal or two into them to make sure that they're going to do good in this environment. I tell you guys all the time that sometimes snakes come over and you think a big naturalistic enclosure is the way to go, and sometimes they stress out, but I'm happy to say that Loki's doing well, and when we're open next time, he's going to get a chance to be handled for the first time. So it's pretty cool for kids to be able to hold another little snake, just like our Mexican Black King Midnight. So this time we got Loki to kind of take a little bit of the load as well. Always continues to work on things here at the Reptarium. Today we're actually going to add a few things to the arachnid wall. We still have some things we need to redo in this rack for sure. I'm not super happy with the way it is right now, but we did get these animals here, and look at this. These of course are Madagascan hissing cockroaches, but the fact is these are the largest of the localities, and again, they will hiss. It's really interesting, but these guys are huge. We're just going to put them up in here right now, and then we'll fix up their cage a little bit better here in a little bit. Come on, little dude, get off me, get off me. And you know, I used to be so terrified of all bugs, it's not even funny. Now I find them very interesting. Oh my God, they're so weird looking, and they're very easy to take care of. Obviously, they are a cockroach, right? So we'll just go ahead and just put these in here. And I think the kids are gonna really love being able to hold these things, because kids love bugs and creepy crawly things. And hear it hissing. And that's why they call them Madagascan hissing cockroaches. Just weird. Why would a cockroach want to hiss? It's just so weird. Where are you going, little monkey? Where are you going? Come on now. Let's get up in there. Up, 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 up. Let's go. And this should be pretty cool. Once we add some foliage and stuff like in here, they should climb the walls and stuff. Should be a pretty cool thing. And they will breed in here as well, which means that we could definitely produce a bunch more of these little ones for sure. And again, there's a bunch of different like localities of hissing cockroaches. These are the ones that can literally get like 2.5, 3 inches long. Really giant ones, which is awesome. Last little one in here. All right, here you go. All right, again, we'll throw a little bit of food in there for them. These guys will really forage on anything. You can kind of any vegetables, leaf litter, all that type of stuff. So we'll close these guys up, and like I said, coming back, I think we'll see them climbing the walls, and it's going to be pretty darn cool. And again, just a little upgrade on this bug wall for sure. And obviously the daily duties over here at BHB are endless, especially during the breeding season. I'm telling you what, guys, if you ever want to breed snakes and want to be successful, the hardest thing is to stay consistent. You know, there are so many days, you know, I know you guys think that I'm just uber motivated all the time, and usually I am, but there are days where I'm just like, I don't feel like spending an hour switching males today, but I know that if you don't do it, you're not going to be successful. So switching males, doing your due diligence, feeding, doing your waters and cleaning, every single bit absolutely affects your success rate. So, you know, although BHP can sometimes be a huge responsibility, the fact is you have to stay on top of it. If you don't stay on top of it, you're going to fail. So why am I telling you all this? Is because, you know what, not every day you're going to feel motivated. Not every day I feel motivated. A lot of times I don't show that part of me because I'm always showing you all the things that I'm doing. The fact is that there's going to be days where you just don't want to do things, but it's important to do them. If you want to be successful, if you want to fulfill your dreams, if you want to live out that dream, you have to put all of that laziness aside and just keep on pushing forward. Again, it's about consistency. It's not about who can race to the top the fastest. It's about that climb to the top that is slow and steady and maintained. Again, no one wants to jump and be super successful and then a year later lose everything. What you want is consistency over many years, and you continue to learn, you continue to grow, and you continue to evolve. And even on the days that you feel like, hey, I don't want to do it, get up and do it, because when you finally get to the other side of it, you have a sense of accomplishment that you feel even better than the days that you feel good, because you thought, wow, I didn't want to do that, and now look at, I did it, and that's amazing. It's like going to the gym, right? A lot of times I go and I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym, but when I'm done with the gym, I'm even happier than the days that I'm excited about going to the gym. So in a nutshell, it isn't easy. It isn't easy fulfilling your dreams and living your dreams and working hard. All those things aren't. And yes, I'm human, and yes, there are days where I feel like I don't don't know if I could do it, but most days I am just feeling very grateful for you guys and everything that I have, and I will continue going on because it is my dream. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, I need some click-through help. Hit this playlist, watch 2 or 3 videos. It would do me a world of good. Can you also subscribe to my podcast channel right up over here? Get me to 3 million by subscribing over here to this channel. Turn your post notifications on. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you tomorrow.